one of the things I'm struggling with is that Microsoft uh, probably is, well, it's the concept of Microsoft, as it turns out, is faulty. Every corporation is a war bet. Um, a corporation is a unit of capitalism, and capitalism was created because the pre-corporations at the time, before the Dutch East India Company was established, um, needed parental oversight. The um, proceeds from their uh, establishment of trading routes by war, uh, I suspect, encouraged stupid behavior that demanded attention from the Dutch government, the Dutch Republic. Uh, Part of the reason capitalism was established was that the raiding parties were threatening, basically, to turn um, what should have been organized colonial expansion um, into a civil war. And obviously, the Dutch government didn't want civil war, so they took action to regulate the activities of, you know, expanding the reach of the colonial empire. Microsoft, as a corporation, is therefore uh, a unit of capitalism. It's a bet that one will be able to establish trading routes profitably and exploit them for a profit and earn proceeds from doing so. And one unit of Microsoft stock, uh, one stock certificate, should represent a bet on that strategy. Now the problem here is that uh, selling software for a profit is fundamentally based on anti-knowledge. It's based on the non-availability of um, of access to the I'm going to say the printed source code, or the disassembled machine code. So the principle that established the non-availability of printed copies of disassembled versions of the machine code of computer programs was established by Bill Gates's 1976 open letter to hobbyists. And what this did was it introduced the concept of withholding access to the disassembled machine code in printed form. And it also introduced the concept of bloatware, of creating inefficient programs for the sake of impeding the process of converting the machine code to a disassembled form and then publishing that. So the problem that you face is that the principle of software entails the principle of denying others access to knowledge. It's very unclear why Bill Gates didn't want to simply publish his software as books. I think this is sort of the fundamental question here is, why did Bill Gates think he could get rich attacking books? And I think, honestly, I view Microsoft and the Bill Gates approach as, and frankly Google as well, as part of the same, I would say, anti-God, anti-Semitic attitude that started with Jesus Christ. And I think it's very apt that our year numbering system targets Jesus Christ. And frankly, I would describe Jesus Christ as the worst criminal who has ever lived in humanity. And I would describe Martin Luther as the second worst criminal to live in humanity, Karl Marx as the third worst criminal among humanity, and Adolf Hitler as the fourth worst criminal among humanity. And I would add Bill Gates and Sergey Brin to the fifth and sixth worst individuals among humanity. And so what we have here is this train of attacks or assaults on God, starting with Jesus Christ. And I find it frustrating, frankly, to be expected to respect these horrible criminals who assault knowledge and disrupt the ordinary progress of knowledge. What you have are, in these individuals, Jesus Christ, Martin Luther, Karl Marx, Adolf Hitler, Bill Gates, Sergey Brin. You have what I would describe as a hostile growth, or a malignant growth on humanity. It's a tumor. And what you're looking at is people who want to personally profit from attacks on God, attacks on knowledge, attacks on books, attacks on illumination, attacks on enlightenment, attacks on thinking, attacks on civilization. And frankly, I would even go so far as to say attacks on prostitution. I would describe myself as a prostitutionist, and I would describe my philosophy as prostitutionism, which, if one were to teach a philosophy, which I'm not sure I would do, but I understand prostitutionism to be the concept of civilization, and I understand prostitution and civilization to be two sides of the same coin, which is this infatuation with the commodity concept. Now, I'm sort of, I also really believe in negative thinking. One of the things that really irritates me about the open letter to hobbyists is that it's an assault on teaching. It's an attack on teachers who wish to use the disassembled Microsoft Altair Basic as teaching material for stimulating student activity and for stimulating the minds of students.